Claude Opus 5 is costing teams on 3 fronts right now, and only one of them shows up on the bill. Tokens, because it answers short answers at length, and you pay for every word. Time, because somebody has to read them. And quality, which is what I want to spend most of this video on. But there's a fix. One setting inside Claude Code, and it takes a minute to apply. It also carries a default that switches off Claude Code's engineering instructions, which turns a readability problem into a code problem. So what does it fix? What is the setting that's costing you? And what is this whole thing actually about? Claude Code has a setting called output style, /config and pick one. 4 of them ship with it. Default, proactive, explanatory, and learning. You can also write your own. The one doing the rounds is called Eli 5. It's about 6 lines long and came directly from someone at Anthropic. So that's a pretty good starting point. Some people even layer a 1970s aerospace labeling and writing standard. It's called ASD STE 100, which sounds mad, but it works. Now, why put any of this in your output style as opposed to your CLAUDE.md? That part is documented and it's the good bit. CLAUDE.md arrives as a message after the system prompt. Once at the start of a session, the output style modifies the system prompt itself. And in Anthropic's own words, all output styles trigger reminders for Claude to follow the output style instructions during the conversation. One of them gets brought up once, the other one continually gets brought back up. On the token side, the documentation is straight about the trade. A custom style adds to your system prompt, so input goes up a little, and caching covers most of that after the initial request. What comes back gets shorter, and that's the side that scales with every answer your team ever asks. 2 things on the doc that's worth 30 seconds of your time. First, when you create a custom output style, there's a frontmatter field called coding instructions, and it defaults to false, which means a custom style leaves out Claude Code's custom default instructions. How it scopes a change, how it comments, and how it verifies its own work. So if you paste in the Eli 5 style to stop the jargon, and you're using Claude Code on real code, you've quietly switched off the engineering to fix the writing. 1 line of frontmatter puts it back on. Second, output styles apply to the main conversation only. Subagents run their own system prompts, so your style will never reach them. So if you're running anything agentic, half your fleet didn't get the memo. Lastly, the style is read once at the start of the session, so it takes effect after a clear of context and not after you set it. Now, the part I actually wanted to talk about. The line everyone is quoting comes from Nicholas Gruen on the 3rd of August. AI output is extra effort. It's verbose, frequently contains all too plausible nonsense, and is increasingly jargon dense. So true. That's the line that hit for me. But that comment sits about 1/3 of the way into a post called "Don't Be a Meat Proxy," and the post is arguing something much bigger than verbosity. His complaint is actually posting Claude's responses directly into Slack, and I'm guilty of it. Other locations including a pull request into a group chat, word for word, and you know you've done it too. His line is he can talk to Claude himself, it'll be faster, and he gets to control the context. He doesn't need a meat proxy in between, where the meat. And he puts a business shape on this that you should think about if you run a team. Somebody ships code by handing Claude the ticket and never reading it themselves. A reviewer leaves feedback. The feedback goes straight into Claude, which means the reviewer is now doing the implementation, 1 round trip at a time. And the work has moved to the most expensive person in the chain without anybody deciding that. So what he asks for at the end of the post isn't a shorter model. It's read it, understand it, validate it, and then write the response in your own words. He calls that a decent certificate that you've done the first 3. So the jargon is a symptom he happened to notice. What he's actually asking for is that somebody reads the thing, which is why I'd take the output style and not stop there. A short answer you do read is better than a long answer that you do not read. The setting makes the output more legible. And in this moment in time, I think that is what we need. So if you've done this, let me know how it went. And if you're interested in doing this for yourself or your business, I'll have a document down below where you can look into it a little bit deeper.